everyone. Today we have Darkflame 12 on Mythic as a Master of Harmony Monk. This is the second time I have completed it on the 12. The route is pretty basic. There's not much you can change except for the sprawling trackyard area where you can pull different mobs here. But I found this to be probably the more simpler route. These are the talents. It doesn't really change much. Still trying to decide what my final talent build would be. I'll probably be changing it around a bit more. And of course, my gear 25% crit and 26.88% versatility. So I go up to around 30% crit with my aggression flask. As you can see there, 29% crit and 27% versatility. It's pretty good for these mythics. I'm trying to get as much versatility as I can just because I need all the help I can get. Anyways, at the start of the pull, you kind of want to pull all of these. So you can run up to these first two, just get a little bit of aggro, get big aggro on that Overseer, Exploding Keg to catch all of them. There I missed one Laborer, but I can taunt it. And the reason you want to pull it here is because he'll do this knockback. So he can knock them out of the way, it doesn't matter, they'll try to run away, but they're pretty much dead at that point. You can get this Overseer down by himself. Normally what other people would do is they will pull this entire room into the next one with around 2 more packs. But this dungeon isn't too hard. You can time it pretty easily. You just have to play it safe, not dumb. So here I'm catching aggro, interrupt that one. You line of sight the casters so they can run towards you. And again, same thing with all of this pack. Just drag them here towards this pillar and just start going hard on them.
Watch your step.
So there I want to drop my Ring of Peace back there because I don't want him to knock any of them back there and aggro any of the other mobs. So as soon as he does that, he'll try to push him in that direction, but the Ring of Peace will knock him right back to where he's at. So that's kind of something that you can do if you feel like they're all getting scattered. And that's part of the reason why I kind of corral them into this little area so that I can Ring of Peace and make sure that they don't get blasted into an area where I don't need them to. Here, same thing. Catch a little bit of aggro and then you line of sight so that they don't pull. Here, I probably could have played this a bit smarter. You don't want to pull the Mole Herder because he starts casting this range thing. But if everyone stacks, he stops casting the range and he can start meleeing the tank. But at this point it doesn't matter, we have them all rounded up. I already wasted my Ring of Peace, so if the Overseer casts this knockback, I won't be able to kind of keep them together. And as you can see, it's a bit dangerous because the Wick Lighter almost fell into the other pack up there, and then the others almost aggroed that Mole Herder over there. And again, the Mole Herder is just going crazy over there. But there's really not much we can do because we still have 2 casters left. There, when he got interrupted, I should have probably ran to the Mole Herder because now he's doing a lot of damage. As you can see, look at how many stones he's casting. He's just free casting. There, I'm telling them to stack. It's difficult to type when I'm tanking this. It's just that like those 1 or 2 seconds that it takes to type something out, I'm already on red stagger and I'm already losing health real fast. Anyways, for this one, you want to tank them next to the train tracks. Just because whoever gets targeted by these little laborers, if they stand where I'm standing, or they bait them across the tracks, the minecart will kill all of them. So as you can see, the paladin, the warrior's just going around there trying to DPS them. But that's just a waste of DPS. Just stay on the boss. The person who gets targeted needs to start running across the train tracks to get them run over. But I feel like a lot of people don't know this and they just kite them, and they just
Defensive.
needlessly take unnecessarily take damage. The other thing is during his charge, you can actually aim it at the mobs. So it's better to just stand still so that the mobs can get destroyed by the charge. As you can see there, one laborer got run over by the cart and he died. If they bait them like this, where the majority are on the tracks, they'll they'll get wiped out pretty fast.
Defensive.
And it's part of the reason why you kind of want to be stacked when it comes to this boss, just so that the AoE cleave damage can also take care of them.
Defensive.
But I feel like this boss isn't too hard. If you can rotate your Celestial Brews or any defensives if you feel like you need them, you'll be fine. Everybody has enough damage to take down this minecart, so it's not a problem.
Defensive.
As you can see there, the cart just ran over all of those laborers and took them out.
Defensive.
There, I'm letting them know to bait them next to the tracks. I feel like a lot of people don't do a lot because it's just such an easy boss, to be honest with you. It doesn't really feel challenging. So this, I want to pull this back into the next one, but I need to be careful because there will be four casters, so I'm trying to make sure that this one fiend at least gets dropped a little bit lower before I pull in the next ones. The mage there is like impatient. He's like, pull more, pull more. But trust me, if people don't know how to kick, if people don't know how to kick, it's gonna be impossible to do these things. So you see the kick tracker? Mage and the paladin had their kicks, and the mage didn't even bother to kick. So again, it's like people who get impatient, but they also don't want to do the don't want to interrupt the mechanics. So it gets a little bit annoying. So all those are dead, and I'm looking to just chain this one into the next one. I was probably taking a little bit too long here, but I could have chained it into the next one a lot earlier. Did a bad job of standing out of that, but human racial hopes. Again, I could have moved out of that. I don't know what I was thinking. I think I did this run at like 3 in the morning, I think, so I was probably a little bit tired.
Watch your step.
Just using my chi blaster to heal up my party.
Watch your step.
Okay, now for this pool, you can have your team wait in this corner while you pull everything back. Sadly, I was a little bit dumb and didn't do that. So what I do is I split it into two. And I'm pretty sure we wipe here because I was impatient. Like there was really no need to do all of that.
Watch your step.
Like I just adding more fuel to the fire. Literally, it's just like there was no need for anybody to for me to pull it like that. Because now we have a lot of these casting everything. You see? and it goes off and we die. So again, don't pull as many. There's just no need for that. And yeah, I do get a little bit of flaming
Watch
from
your
the group,
step.
but very well deserved because there's no need to put your group in danger, especially if you don't have the AoE CCs for
I
this.
simply wish you had lasted a little longer.
So that's our first wipe, and now the running back. So just remember, like you don't really have to rush any of this. You'll time it, so it'll be fine. And again, this is all just like a learning experience. So I make mistakes so that you probably can learn from them. So just split it in half. I'll try to do a short on how to pull this section, just so you know what I mean about taking them back to the
Watch
entrance
your
and
step.
line of sighting them.
What's
Okay, and now on to Blazikon. For this boss, you want to stand in melee range at all times. If you don't, the whole party will receive an AoE wide damage, so you don't want that. First ability, Dousing Breath, you can't avoid that. Everybody just takes damage, so use the defensive like Celestial Brew. Wick Lighter Barrage, whoever gets that has to light as many candles as they can, because the next ability, Enkindling Barrage, will target the candles that aren't lit and apply a dot on the group based off of how many it lit up. So as you can see there, we have a 3-stack dot because we didn't light up 3 candles. Extinguishing Gust, you want to at least blow out 1 candle because that'll create a safe spot for the next ability.
AoE incoming?
So Incite Flames, we blew out 2 candles, so we have 2 places where we can stay. Oh, well, 3, sorry. Now you don't want to blow out all the candles because immediately after that he does Enkindling Inferno. Again, lighting up the ones that got blown out and putting a dot debuff. If you blow out all 5, well, that's a problem. Sure, it creates more places for you to stand, but now you're taking more damage during that phase. And then immediately after you take the dot damage, you get hit by Dowsing Breath. So again, Wick Lighter Barrage, you have to light as many as you can so that you don't take a lot of damage from the Enkindling Inferno dot. And then when it's time to blow out candles, you can blow out 1 just so that you have a safe spot and won't take a lot of damage from the dot when he does Enkindling Inferno again. So as you can see there, he blew out 3, and I think we also have 1 more on the other side. So again, sure, we have all of this safe spot where we can stand, but when he doesn't Kindling Inferno, we're going to take a good amount of stacks on the dot. And that's pretty much it. It's just rinse and repeat. You want to stay in melee range at all times to avoid having the party take more AoE fire damage. And that's that. So now this next pull works the same as the one in this room. So what you want to do is hit 1 and then aggro all of them and run back. I didn't do that. I was being a little bit dumb. Because as you can see, these all blow up. They all do an ability that could potentially just ruin you. Here, everybody's questioning if we're gonna time this or not because we have like roughly 15 minutes left. But again, the next couple of pulls are pretty fast. This will take roughly 2 minutes,
Targeting.
maybe less. All my gear is in yellow from that last death. I get stun locked by the big guy. But we have the DPS first, so I'm not even too worried about it. What you can do is just stand next to the stair for the knockback, and you won't get flung. too far.
Watch your step.
And that's it. I'm trying to decide if I should pull the boss into this sooner, but I opted not to. As you can see, it kind of got stunned there. So we lust immediately on the pool. Now, for the Candle King, he creates these wax statues. Now, he does two abilities. Paranoid Mind, which you have to interrupt because it's a fear. And when somebody in the group gets Darkflame Pickaxe, they have to run to one of the statues, preferably the farthest one, because now all of these other ones who get this purple circle, they have to stand next to the wax statues to destroy them. Why do you want to destroy them? Because they cause AoE damage. As you can see, they're shooting at everyone there. So the more of these that are up, the more AoE damage everybody's taking. So there I'm getting the far one because everyone else is like pretty close by. So one of them probably could have took both there, and somebody could have gone into the waxy area, but we couldn't get it. So it is what it is. But as you can see, you start dropping more and more and taking more damage, so you kind of want to make sure that those get taken care of. So just interrupt Paranoid Mind whenever you can. If not, somebody else will do it. Drop purple circles on the wax statues to eliminate them. As you can see there, the Paladin got those two on the top. He was just barely touching them. And then if you get the Darkflame Pickaxe, try to stand on the farthest one, just so that it's easier for everyone else to clear the other ones. And that's it. It's pretty simple boss fight, but it can get crazy if you're not moving the boss around away from the candle wax and people are not killing the statues. As you can see there, the warrior was just tunneling and didn't get one of them down. But that's it. Okay, so that's the Candle King down. We got one death. We're still okay. We have roughly 10 minutes. Everybody was scared, saying we don't got this, but I was pretty confident that we did. So this is where the Black Axe statue shines. So as you can see that they're all gathered up, right? You can taunt it to get aggro on all of them, or you can just exploding keg or keg smash into them. You want to tank them kind of close to the front of the cart, just because when they blow up, they do leave like an AoE circle, right? Just keep an eye out for, again, horrors and for the shrinking circle. Because if you stand outside of it, you get 99% healing reduction. So that I'm not trying to get hit. Trying to make sure that I don't stay in any circles. And you want to move the creeper, because the quarter creeper gets a damage amp for all of the dead bodies that are around it. So that's part of the reason, again, why you want to kill the little skittering darknesses in the front, so that you can drag the quarter to the back. But sadly there it didn't work out too well. We killed him on both sides. As you can see, he has a 6 stack damage amp, so he's really just like pounding hard on me. But we take him out. We have the DPS. Grab a candle whenever you can, just to make it easier for the group. Keep this going. And whenever you see a pack of mobs, or wherever you see that the cart is headed, you can just drop your Black Hawk statue there. Collect immediate aggro. These horrors won't aggro onto you immediately until you interrupt them. So you have to just make sure that you cast an interrupt there. There, you can drop another statue there just to get all of them again. And again, same thing goes. You try to tank them either to the front, to the side, wherever there's space, so that all of these skittering darknesses can just die in one spot and not interfere. As you can see, they're all dying right there, so then that means that I can move the creeper somewhere else. Creeper has 4 stacks there because there's 4 dead bodies. He has 0 there because there's 0 dead bodies. So that's kind of stuff that you want to keep in mind. Just mainly because they do hit hard, and once they apply the dot on you, that dot starts to ramp up quick. I think you can probably survive up to 12 before it just starts to get crazy. They did update it so that it can be dispelled, which is great. So if your healer can dispel it off you, it'd be awesome if they can. But you can also dispel it with diffuse magic. But that, again, that's a minute and 30-second cooldown. So every minute and 30 seconds you can dispel it. So just hit the horror, interrupt it so it aggroes onto you, and then catch everything else. This one's a little bit rough on us because we have 3 quote-unquote melee. So the warrior, myself, and the healer. So if we don't position ourselves well, we're pretty much in trouble whenever those skittering darknesses die. And that's that. So for this, you can run ahead and grab those candles and drop them into the cart because the RP, I think the RP doesn't start until the cart gets topped off. There the healer's asking who's going to grab the candle, and you as the tank, you'll have to move the candle during the boss encounter. Now this, you just have to get the boss down to 90%. It doesn't go down any lower than that. Or, you know, if you want to be safe, you can pummel it. I don't think it makes much of a difference, but yeah. Okay, great. So we survived that. Now on to the little bit crazier part. Here, we're going to pull all of this just because we need all of this to get the remaining percent that we need. We have about 4 minutes left. You need roughly about 3 minutes for the boss. So I'm just trying to pull everything I can just to get the count. 4 creepers is way too much. As you can see, it starts stacking up. I'm at 8 stacks. My stagger is at red constantly. So what you could do here is just wait for the healer to dispel you and then use diffuse magic. I use diffuse magic. 60% magic damage reduction helps a lot, but also it resets the count. So I'm just trying to pull everything. My gear's on yellow, so I'm taking a beating. It's probably dropping. If it would have, any piece would have dropped to red, it would have been over. Like, that's it. That's the red. So with all of this, we could have just pulled this into the boss and we would have been fine. And I think that's what we do end up doing, just because we have to make sure that we time it. We have 3.5 minutes, roughly. And we'll get heroism 2 minutes in. Probably should have pulled them at 20%. But the DPS is good. They're confident. Here we go. So grab the candle and move it in closer to him before you start the encounter. Just so that it's closer to the 2 candles that spawn in the front, which are the ones that your DPS should be getting. Now, Shadow Blast. Once somebody gets Shadow Blast, they get hit, but they also run for the candle. It makes it easier to come back into the group and refill the candle. When he does Umbro Slash, you take the candle with you and you just move it around to the sides or to wherever there's a candle, so it makes it easier for the DPS to get it. You can CC these dark spawn, or you can just outright DPS them. They have low health, so it doesn't matter. They have to, the DPS or the healer have to get a candle during that AoE because it'll drain the candle completely to 0, and then you'll get feared for 2 seconds and that'll wipe everyone. So you kind of want to avoid that. And again, you move the candle, you look for the closest candle, and you just move it to that position, and that's it. That's all you really have to do. Just keep an eye out for where the candles are spawning to move the candle towards that direction, so it makes it easier for the DPS to travel there and back. And that's the whole fight. You have to get them down to 55%, I think it is. And we have about 1:30 seconds left. But as you already know, we time it, so nothing to worry about. There, I'm just moving it further down, closer to this candle so that they can get it. There, I kind of mashed the wrong button.
AOE
And that's it.
incoming.
That's the whole fight. Just move the candle towards the closer ones. Somebody has to get a candle during that ability to refill it before it gets to 0. And that's the whole fight. So enjoy. And that's Darkflame Cleft. As you can see, if we didn't wipe earlier in the trash, we probably would have timed it a lot faster. But that's another mythic down. And these are the damage and healing meters. As you can see, I have been kind of sacrificing my damage for blackout kick combos onto keg smash for faster brew resets. So I'll be working on using that more on Tiger Palm to increase my damage output because I know that I can do more than 1.2 million overall. Because as you can see, my Tiger Palm is doing less damage than my keg smash, so I should be Tiger Palming a lot more. So I'll be working on that. But here's the healing breakdown. Like always, Celestial Brew coming in at number 1. Next week we'll be getting a small buff to our damage. So we'll see how that all plays out. But that was Darkflame Cleft on the 12th. The next video should be one on my weak auras and my UI. I know some people have commented on it before and I haven't done it yet, so keep an eye out for that one. See you then.